if you look at Disney right now, the stock is plummeting. Their theme parks are a mess. It wouldn't surprise me if they threw everything in their power at this lawsuit to shut it up.
But I would imagine if I was her, I'd want a very public apology and like a real apology.
Renegade Online.
Interesting day. A day we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
That things are moving forward.
Yep.
So it's pretty awesome.
Yep.
I think. But I just have this weird feeling, just like what both of you guys have said, that first of all, let me go on record and say I personally have never seen an email. I've never seen anything from that.
Nor I, nor any of us.
You're just talking to friends. We ain't gonna tell nobody, Jay. Just tell us
in the
whatever.
Wind. That's all. So
you can tell us.
Don't ask anything.
We'll keep it between us. Trust me.
Yeah. There's no one watching, right? We're not live, are we?
No, we're not.
Right, let me tell you the real story.
Let's hear it.
If you look at Disney right now, the stock is plummeting. Their theme parks are a mess. They just released this horrific, stupid thing for the theme parks that will that's gonna nickel and dime people, and people are even the Disney adults are like, this is horrific. Like, why would you do this? I don't even want to come back to this park anymore. It's the only thing that was making them money. They might get a little bounce with 2 movies, maybe that are like maybe the Deadpool one, and maybe
and we don't even know how much Deadpool 2 cost yet.
Yeah, that Inside Out. But I mean, they spent the rest of it on that New World Order film. Well, they changed the name, the new Captain America. It wouldn't surprise me if they threw everything in their power at this lawsuit to shut it up and get her to say, okay, we're good. So,
well, that's what we're speculating on is what would
speculation only. I don't know anything, so I got to be careful. Anything I say gets misquoted and thrown out there. As far as
I get that, but no, that's
not
what
misquoted, but you know what I mean.
But just speaking from the side of things that is out in the public that we all know, right? And that is that obviously Gina's not in this for the money.
Right.
Elon's lawyers are doing this. It doesn't seem like that, and that's what we were saying. Is like, what would it take for her to settle? Because I'm assuming at this point, Disney's probably going to want to come in there because, again, no surprise, they do not seem to want to go to discovery. They never do in these cases. They want this to go away, but we're sitting here going, what would it really take for Gina to go, fine, we'll stop right now if you do this? And that's why we were talking about, I would imagine if I was her, I'd want a very public apology and like a real apology.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's kind of all she ever, going at the conventions with her, and people ask that question all the time. What would it take for you to settle or anything? And it's like basically exactly what you said, Valiant. I want my name cleared. Tom said the exact same thing. He's correct. Her career was she was in Fast and the Furious, Deadpool. She probably would have been in this new Deadpool film. You know, and some of the
I didn't
other
even think of that. Yeah.
And and you were at the con, Valiant, in Tennessee. Her line was superior to people that are still active in movies,
right?
That still have prominent roles in upcoming Disney films and other films like that. Her line was just wrapped around I had to tell Valiant 3 times, can you come back a little later, man? We still haven't finished the VIP line,
Oh, I know.
People
I know.
Paying double just to see her. But I think there's, and this is just my opinion, I think there's there's that period of Disney between Chapek, the lockdowns, this firing, all that stuff that is a huge mess. It is a massive disaster. Like I said, the official Star Wars account, the big thing that's on this lawsuit is the official Star Wars account is the one that tweeted out why we don't want her working for us. That they don't do that for anybody. So there was this weird period where I think they're still running it. The crazy people are running the asylum, right? I think they still are, but they're a little more controlled than they were.
It's the same guys running Joe Biden's ex account.
Yeah,
so.
but I think under Chapek, I think they were just on the loose, man. You remember you saw that leaked video of Chapek?
Oh yeah,
where he was just sitting in like a little box saying, "I'll do whatever you say." Like,
the ones that leaked with Christopher Rufo.
Yeah. And he's just like, "Okay, we're gonna change everything because that's what y'all want." That's what, like, no leadership whatsoever. The guy was quivering in the corner, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just like, there was this time where all of Disney was just running crazy.
Oh yeah,
you know, and there was no, at least, I mean, under Iger, they're still spending out of their minds.
Yep.
But that whole time when Gina was fired and all that stuff, and there's probably a lot of stuff there that they want to, unless they've done it already, erased from existence. I hope not, but this is a big win. Like, this is a big win because they can't stop this now. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. And the other thing is too, we'll see what, if it goes further. I mean, we'll see what exactly is on those zip drives, you know.
Whatever she got. That's what people
because
are asking
there
about.
could be a way where it's like, those people aren't employed anymore, so you can't share that. Or this person, like, I just feel that in my soul that is these people, and then I'll shut up. But these people pass the blame on everything that they do. A TV series is failing. It's not our fault. It's the white male's fault. It's the racist fault.
It's the fans' fault.
It's the fans' fault.
Yeah,
it's Trump's fault.
To your park.
Yeah.
Oh well. It ain't our fault. Our theme parks are great. It's their fault. They need to spend more.
Last I heard, it was Eric July's fault.
The fact that one of the excuses was they were trying to tell people to use their credit card to go to the Star Cruiser Hotel. Like, it'll be worth it.
Just take out a loan
later.
Yeah.
It's like, it's their fault. They even blame the fans for that thing shutting down. So it's not, it's in their DNA to look at something and go, well, it's not our fault. Who's not here? Oh, Chapek, he's gone. This other guy's probably gone. This guy, they were all in charge. Let's just let's give her little apology.
Mm-hmm.
Let's blame them. All right, here's a bunch of money. Let's blame, and let's go and let's be on our merry way. We got bigger problems to worry about. And their stock could tank to like $80, man. If it like,
if you believe Ike Perlmutter with what he did last night and what he said, he's waiting to buy Disney back up when it gets between 65 and 70.
I heard.
So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But, to what you said about Chapek,
takeover.
I would love for them to do that, because the problem with trying to point the finger at Chapek is that in the early part of 2021, when this happened, when this went down, because she got fired, it was maybe a month. I'd only been on YouTube a month. And so it was 2021, early 2021. And if you recall, Bob Iger was still the executive chairman of the board of directors through the end of that year. And it was also stated routinely and then reconfirmed more recently by, I think, Alex Sherman at CNBC when they talked about all of the tension between Iger and Chapek in that 1 or 2 years of overlap. It was made pretty clear that Bob Chapek didn't play around with the studios. He had other things to do. He was dealing with theme parks and television. And Iger, when he was still, even though he wasn't his, CEO anymore, or co-CEO with Chapek, Iger was very much the person that was still kind of dealing day-to-day with the studios and the studio heads. And it's very clear that the studio heads, Kathleen Kennedy included, they all hated Chapek. They didn't want to talk to him. They hated Kareem Daniel, his lieutenant that was trying to change the distribution strategy. So you go ahead and blame Bob Chapek, the guy that y'all at Disney said, y'all studio heads said you hated and you didn't talk to that much. Right. I would love for them to sell me that bullshit story.
I would also like hope that she would get like some of the little things back. Like bring her action figure back, man. Come on. We know what you're doing, man. Like, we know that you're just purposely not putting it in like some of the new sets that are out and everything.
Right.
We're not dumb. We know that you're trying to erase all that. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it'll make the value even greater if she wins. But I mean, different things like that. They try to act like her character is they're doesn't exist anymore. You know,
Right?
It's like don't be weird. We know it's out there. Come on, like stuff like that.
How many people were in that line this weekend getting these things? This past weekend.
I'm telling you, man. And it's like, and listen, let's be honest. She's my friend, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, she's not an A-lister. She ain't Tom Cruise. She's not in mega blockbuster films.
People don't care. They just love her.
But her freaking lines, she outshined Brie Larson, man. Like, what can you say, bro?
I don't know. I don't want to set the bar that low for Gina. Okay, I don't want to.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Tennessee was an easy. Like, I kept telling Val, like, can you go to the other lines and tell me what they look like compared to Gina's?
Oh yeah,
because
we kept going.
Hers was like wrapped like around. They had to like make like all these extra lines.
Yeah, it was Gina's line, and Peter Cullen's line, Optimus Prime. His line was pretty competitive with Gina's, but his usually is. He's just another one of those guys that it's like he's one of the nicest people like Gina that you'll ever meet. And he's so genuine and loves to talk to his fans, and the fans really respond well to that. And then, what's his name? Wayne, that was right next to Gina. The guy that plays Mando, really, in the suit, not Pedro. What's his name? Brendan Wayne? He was in the booth right next to Gina, whatever that was. His line was pretty good.
He's the real Mandalorian.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the guy that's really there.
Yeah, Brandon. I was like, you're talking
Brendan
about
Wayne
Juan Carlo. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, Giancarlo Esposito. No, even his line was not as big as Gina's. No, I mean he had a good line, but hers just continued to just stack up.
I just hope people, like, no matter what happens. Is this like the first lawsuit of its kind or no? No, this is not, right?
I don't know
Against
if it's
Disney. Was Scarlett Johansson? Was that
no. Because this one may be the first. Because
I
again,
mean,
the whole issue.
There's been discriminatory cases in the past. I mean, she's probably presenting it as something similar to those.
Yeah, but this is specifically the California labor law. Yeah. This is the first time. Like this. Yeah, that at least this high profile, where somebody from Disney was terminated for reasons that violate a very unique law that's in the state of California labor law that says basically you can't be fired for your political opinions, and Disney's trying to argue that because they're an entertainment company that they have First Amendment rights of expression and creating artistic content and all this stuff. And it's to which I've been arguing as a layperson from the beginning. Is, well, the problem with that is that I told Gina this when we were at the table up there. I'm like, I said, this is what we always laughed about. I was like, you're not writing the scripts. You're not the showrunner. You weren't ad-libbing lines on set. You didn't wear a MAGA hat as Cara Dune in front of the camera. I'm like, you said all this privately off set. This has nothing to do with the artistic expression of the show. None of this was in the show. She was just Cara Dune. So for Disney to try to say that, her making an Instagram post was somehow impacting the character of Cara Dune in The Mandalorian is horseshit. I mean, it's just nonsense. And I think the judge saw through this.
Yeah. As long as Disney employees keep tweeting about what happened in Germany, several million, whatever ton. I'm just trying to be YouTube friendly here.
Oh, I've skipped past it. I've said it earlier.
Okay.
Comparing Trump supporters to Nazis. Yeah.
Stuff like that. He's the Incredible Hulk. Mark Hamill is still employed by Lucasfilm. He was on every
Did
time.
you say the Incredible Hulk to
Hulk, yeah. As long as they keep tweeting stuff like that, I think the judge has, it's like, well, you're letting them do it without any problems. Where's your statement, MCU?
They have penises, though, Jay. That's the difference.
Well, I think the problem is that when Disney filed the motion to dismiss that the judge reviewed when we talked about it a month ago, Ron and I both kind of found it amusing that one of Disney's arguments in there, by the way, Petrocelli is the lawyer, I believe, that's arguing this one as well, who is the same guy that lost his ass against the state of Florida, by the way. This is Disney's go-to guy a lot of times. Pretty sure this is a Petrocelli case as well. But the problem is that they effectively argued in the motion to dismiss that we as Disney and as a creator of artistic entertainment, we get to choose what kind of messages that we associate with. And ergo, Gina didn't fit the bill. To which then we laughed exactly what you just said. So did Disney just admit in a lawsuit that calling half the country Nazis for being Trump supporters and Klansmen for being Trump supporters is de facto what Disney is saying here that they absolutely agree with and that they do want to associate with, because they've taken no action against Pedro Pascal or Mark Hamill or Mark Ruffalo or anybody else that goes out and makes these very direct and
Jack
ugly.
Black. Wasn't he in The Mandalorian too?
Yeah, he was. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.